The other day, a patient told me, because I'm of a certain ethnicity, my dry skin has special needs and must be managed with special products that fit my skin type. Now, this is a pretty common claim amongst patients. Skincare brands certainly took it on and came up with all sorts of ethnically targeting skincare products and routines. And there's even a field in dermatology called skin of color dermatology that caters to this type of belief. So does this claim hold water? Dr. Yuval Bibi, dermatologist, mission: break you out of skincare matrix stupidity and get you the best skin of your life with you in the driver's seat and in charge. So is ethnic skin a thing when considering skincare? Now, there are definitely different skin tones with different tolerances to sunlight when it comes to different ethnicities. I've discussed this extensively in my sunlight awareness videos. But this is not so much about arbitrary ethnicities, nationality, or demographics. It is more about the individual's ability to tolerate sunlight and derive benefit from sunlight. And that is determined on an individual basis, meaning you don't say, I have black skin or Latino skin, therefore my sunlight requirements are A, B, C, D. This comes from personal experimentation in finding out what your own personal tolerance for sunlight and benefits is. And again, the goal is to receive the maximum benefit of sun exposure while avoiding sun damage. And by the way, unlike most skincare companies and many dermatologists will perseverate, not everybody needs to use SPF. This is again individually determined depending on the circumstances in one's own skin and its ability to tolerate sun exposure while deriving the most benefits out of sun exposure. Interestingly, many of the people that claim that skin of certain ethnicities must be treated with special care give blanket statements when it comes to sunlight. Got it. So certainly different skin types and tones have different tolerances for sunlight and must be individually determined as far as what the individual can take and how they can manage their sun exposure in the best way that works for them. But what about the much more common and prevalent problem of dry, sensitive skin? Does skin of certain ethnicities have different needs from other ethnicities when it comes to dry skin? Now let's take a look at the differences. Well, there's definitely different appearances when it comes to dry skin. Darker skin tones, when the skin is dry, the skin may appear ashy, meaning the skin has a little bit of an ashier gray residue on the surface of the skin. This is often seen on the face or on the forearms or on the shins. And that's something that's very clearly visible when the skin is very dry and very sensitive. In lighter skin tone, the same problem may look as chalkiness. Chalky means a coarse, white, powdery residue. So not quite ashy. It has a different quality to it, but it looks like as if the area was snowed on or some chalk powder was thrown on the area, and that looks pretty distinct from being ashy. So sure, there are differences in appearance between darker skin tones and lighter skin tones when it comes to dry skin, but are there real differences when it comes to the management of the problem in different skin colors? Well, the packaging in many skincare products will have you believe they do. There is Latino skincare products and Black skincare products, and I'm sure many other ethnicities targeting skincare products. And they all sound legit and probably backed by experts in the field. So it sounds like different skin types with different skin tones need different approaches or different products, right? Well, not so fast. That's where being smart and savvy about skincare, products, ingredients, and engineering really pays dividends. So you got to turn those packages around and look at the product list and see what it is that you're dealing with. And to your surprise, and I'm sure great disappointment, you'll notice that all of these products, and I've not seen a single exception in ethnically targeting skincare products, all of these products fall into a number of very limited categories. The most common one is the water-based category, meaning these are lotions or creams that are compounded in water, as lotions and creams are. And that means that the main ingredient in these products is water. Now, in addition to water, these products must contain other ingredients such as preservatives and emulsifiers, and they often contain one of the usual suspects that give the skin a nice glow once you apply the product onto the skin, like the humectant class, like glycerin or the hyaluronic acid that is all the rage nowadays, where in fact it's just a humectant that's applied to the surface of the skin to give the skin a nice shine for probably a few minutes after you apply the product, and then goes away. So the lotions and the creams of the world are basically cookie cutter approach products that are compounded with formulas with very little variation from one product to the next. And that's where a lot of these products belong. There's nothing special about these formulas or about these products to address one skin tone or another. It's just that the label is different. Another category of products are the oil-based products. These are usually shea butter-based products or coconut oil-based products. Sometimes there's cocoa butter in these products as well. Now, in most of these products that are oil-based, there is a tendency to throw in the entire kitchen sink of oils into the product, meaning they'll contain dozens of different carrier oils and sometimes solid oils, some of which I've already mentioned, and a much more annoying tendency to throw in every essential oil known to man, such as lavender oil and rosemary oil, maybe sandalwood, and other types of essential oils just to give the product a really nice aroma with really zero added benefit due to the addition of these oils, but a real added risk of irritation of the skin and God knows what other side effects. Now, this is the second category of products out there that are labeled ethnic products. And again, there is nothing in these products that targets any specific skin tone or color. They're just labeled that way, using the consumer's good faith to purchase the product and use it and apply it on their own skin or the skin of family members. So the bottom line is that ethically targeting products are just packaged really nicely to give the consumer the impression that they are special and they actually are targeting their individual skin needs. Well, in fact, they do nothing of the sort except for giving the consumer that feeling. So the ethnic skincare products are usually special in name only, meaning they are mostly fakes. But what about actual skincare? How does one actually take care of the skin? And do different skin tones require a different approach? So let's take a look at the structure of the skin. The structure of the skin in all human skin is essentially the same. The layers are all the same, ranging from the subcutaneous fat all the way up to the horny layer that sheds the dead skin cells onto the environment and is covered with the skin barrier. This type of layering and the mechanics of the skin are actually the same in all individuals. Obviously, different skins work slightly differently. There are slight variations. Doesn't necessarily depend on ethnicity or the origin of the person. There are individual differences in the way the skin works. And sure, certain families have a tendency for drier skin, but the mechanics of the skin are essentially the same. So is there a need for different products for different skin types? Well, the short answer is that no, there isn't. What works in one skin type will work in the other, and the difference may be in the rate of application or the amounts of application and the circumstances under which certain conditions appear. But essentially, skincare is universal across the board. Anything selling you an ethnic product is essentially selling you a fantasy or a hype, and a fake one at that. So what do you do for dry, sensitive skin? Well, first of all, you pay attention to what your skin tells you. If your skin is dry, you have to first of all do no harm. So avoid soaping, cleansing, exfoliation of dry skin. Avoid hot water. There is no such thing as ethnically appropriate soap. A lot of people get hung up on African soap or other ethnically targeting brands that claim to be specific for individual skin types. That is a complete lie. There is no such soap, and there is no license for you to use any kind of soap on your dry skin for any such benefit. So soaps, essentially and across the board, are drying elements that strip off the skin barrier. If your skin is already dry, that means compromised skin barrier. That means no fly zone for any soap or cleanser over that area, no matter what the claims of the manufacturer are. So stop with the nonsense. Second, moisturize dry, sensitive skin with a product that's going to lay on the skin, covering it and protecting it, allowing it to recover in its own time. Such a product has to be oil-based, has to have very few ingredients so it doesn't dilute the efficacy of the product. It is the least likely to irritate your skin. Products like that are Butter Oasis and Butter Blossom, made with 3 and 2 organic vegan ingredients respectively. And petroleum jelly is not a bad product to use as well. Just mind the amounts when applying those products to the skin, as they are oily and they require very little. Little goes a long way. When you spread those out, you virtually need a microscopic layer on the skin of the product to allow the skin to recover under that layer of protection. And when you use skincare products, remember, this is not about your pride or sense of belonging or your feelings. Those don't matter to your skin. Your skin needs the very best. And the only question that you need to ask yourself when looking at a skincare product, evaluating the ingredient list and what this product can do for you is the following question. Is this product working for me or not? So the bottom line is there is no such thing as ethnic skincare. Don't fall for this hype. Skincare is a universal practice. Skin is essentially the same across the board in all ethnicities. And the management of different skin types is not so much about different products, but really about fine-tuning your approach using the same great products every single time, and very few of them at that. Your skin can certainly do most of the heavy lifting no matter what skin color you are. So don't fall for the bullshit and don't fall for fake products. Let me know in the comments section how this video changed your perspective on your skincare routine and the products you've been buying and using. Also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more No BS skincare advice. See you next time. God bless.